Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Investigations are continuing into a cyber breach which struck Glenorchy City Council amid fears other councils may have been impacted. But after serious incidents last year, the government is being urged to be more proactive in preventing and responding to attacks.
Putting new technology to the test at the launch of a water refilling station. It didn't take long for Glenorchy's mayor to be splashed with questions about her council's tech issues.
We can reassure the public that no staff have caused the problem and that no staff or public details have been accessed.
But who carried out the attack and the extent of it are still being investigated.
We're comfortable that we've done everything humanly possible to make sure that this problem is mitigated.
It's since been revealed a third-party provider of software services for the council was compromised. That same provider is also used by both the Department of Health and Education.
At this stage, we have not identified any impacts. Certainly we'll be keeping an eye on it very closely.
With technology playing a growing role in everyday life, experts say such incidents aren't out of the ordinary.
We're increasingly seeing data breaches of a lot of our services, including our public services owned by government.
The state government was previously criticised for how it handled major breaches last year, and the Greens want assurances of more transparency.
I would like to hear the Minister be on the front foot, reaching out to councils like Glenorchy.
We ourselves have stood up our cyber team. We've now got our cyber hubs into place as well, so we're very much on the front foot.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
Police are on the hunt for an armed offender after a gun was fired from a home north of Hobart towards a vehicle last night. Just before 8 p.m, authorities arrived at the property near Derwent Park Road in Lutana, but were unable to find those involved. No one was injured and it's believed both parties were known to each other. A 21-year-old St Leonard's man has pleaded not guilty to the assault of a baby who was admitted to Launceston General Hospital last month. The man appeared briefly at Launceston Magistrates Court today. He's been released on bail and is due to reappear in court for preliminary proceedings on February 21. Staff at BapCare have walked off the job in the north of the state in their fight for a pay rise. Unions representing the aged care workers say they haven't had a wage rise since 2021.
About 25 staff at the Devonport facility, fed up with low wages, protest outside their workplace.
What do we want? Pay rise! When do we want it? Now!
Despite ongoing negotiations, BapCare has made what these workers claim is an unsatisfactory offer.
A decent pay rise, especially this market, would really be appreciated.
Donna Kelly has worked for BapCare for 15 years and, like her colleagues, feels undervalued.
I feel that also BapCare need to be a little bit more competitive to be able to attract and retain more staff because we're constantly understaffed.
This has been a hostile management that have had ongoing negotiations for over 12 months that have failed to put a decent offer to workers.
The Nurses Union frustrated by BapCare's paltry offer of a 2.5% increase during a cost of living crisis.
Our members are the backbone of their facilities. They are very passionate about what they do, but passion won't pay the bills.
Today's protected industrial action was just for an hour, but the unions are warning there's more to come if management doesn't come good with a decent proposal.
We'll continue to escalate industrial action with our members. We'll continue to stand by them.
The workers receiving plenty of support from the community. BapCare was contacted for comment. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
The anxious wait is over for thousands of school leavers receiving their ATAR results this morning. Now the numbers are in, the future looks bright as Tasmania's youngest learners round out the year with a positive report card.
The class of 2024 results are in. Hobart College coming out on top. 3 students making the top 9, scoring 99.85 or higher.
Worked very hard throughout the year. It started at the very beginning. I made sure I wasn't slacking off.
I was really happy with. Bit of a surprise. But But yeah, I've put in a lot of work throughout the year.
Ending an anxious wait for some 11,700 students. Years of schooling, months of studying and weeks of exams down to a single email. The delivery, a sigh of relief for the state's highest achievers.
It feels a bit surreal. I think 2 years of school boiled down into one number. A lot to take in, but I'm very happy.
So happy. I found out with my brothers next to me and yeah, it was a bit wholesome.
As many leavers now prepare to head off to university, Master Builders is calling on the undecided to consider a career as a tradie.
Doing a trade down here is a great profession, flexibility, earning a wage from day one.
I thought I would give it a go, knowing that you get paid and there's not really too much to lose.
While at the start of the education journey, our little learners have earned an A+. The number of students meeting the Year 1 phonics check up by 5%.
We know that the science behind the structured teaching of literacy, we believe in it, we are implementing it.
Punchbowl Primary among the top of the class. In 2023, less than half of its students met the benchmark. This year, 75% passing with flying colours.
We knew that we were on track. We could see that progress happening in the classroom, but when we saw the data, we went, wow, this is really working.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
After a tough few weeks, the City Park monkeys in Launceston have received some much-needed Christmas cheer. Santa has paid the troop an early visit before the big day, delivering some treats and festive decorations for their enclosure. Last week, the Launceston City Council formally voted to impose a breeding ban, which will see them phased out over the next 20 years. Police are cracking down on people doing the wrong thing ahead of one of the biggest nights on the hospitality sector's calendar. For many of us, this week marks the end of the working year, but it's only the start of a busy festive season.
With Cage Night around the corner. Hundreds are set to descend on Salamanca for a pre-Christmas party to remember.
Safety is a big thing, and ensuring all staff are on the same page in terms of making sure the ultimate goal is to get everyone home safe.
Marking the official start to festive season celebrations, with Builders' Break also earmarked for later this week. But police aren't taking any chances, bringing in more officers and, for the first time, armed with metal detector wands, as well as drug detector dogs set to roam the CBD.
There'll be no tolerance in relation to that antisocial behaviour. So if anyone that goes out and about and behaves in an antisocial way, we'll be taking action against those.
Despite recent incidents in the Salamanca area, some involving weapons like knives, licensees say they're ready to host big crowds.
We've all prepared for it over the years. Everyone's staffed and trained to prepare for this amount of people.
But the warning to stay safe extends far beyond just this weekend. Tasmania Police urging everyone to make smart decisions when drinking and when driving to ensure that everyone stays safe this festive season.
We want to encourage people to come out, think about how you're going to get home, think about your friends and making sure that you're looking after each other.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The reigning NBL champions are giving back to the community this festive period at a fundraising pop-up store. The Jack Jumpers are giving up the shirts on their backs for an online auction, with used jerseys and even a pair of shoes up for grabs.
A rare treat for Jack Jumper fans, a chance to do some Christmas shopping and rub shoulders with sporting idols.
It gives our fans an opportunity to come in, see behind the scenes in the office, as well as, grab some gear for Christmas.
The reigning champions working with the Salvation Army, with proceeds of the event going towards helping those less fortunate this Christmas.
The last thing we want is for a child to wake up on Christmas morning and think Santa forgot them.
Providing the opportunity for a meet and greet with a few players, the team is giving back to some dedicated fans.
When they won the championship, I got a little tattoo on the back of my leg.
Getting up close to the players and actually talking to them, it's just a great opportunity, really.
Players will don festive jerseys when they take on the New Zealand Breakers on Christmas Day, with the organisation putting both teams' uniforms up for auction. But if used jerseys aren't your style...
Yeah, Shawnee Mack's generously donating his shoes as well. So if you'd want a pair of game-worn shoes, then there's your chance.
Proceeds also helping to ease back-to-school stress for families.
You get through Christmas and then in less than a month you're digging deep again trying to get uniforms, books, etc.
Spreading some festive cheer both on and off the court.
Yeah, and they're defending the island. They're defending our children in our island by doing this every year.
The auction wraps up on December 27. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Hobart's Christmas window competition might have already crowned its winner. Traders are hoping the festive displays still encourage people to shop locally though. Lillian Dott taking out the People's Choice Award for the second year in a row.
We definitely see more people stopping and commenting on the window or popping up just to have a look.
40 businesses participated with over 500 Tasmanians voting for their favourite display. And with Christmas just around the corner, an army of jolly volunteers is busy wrapping hundreds of gifts for the annual community lunch put on by youth support charity Home Base. The event is expecting over 500 guests.
Every child on Christmas Day will leave with an abundance of gifts that they may not ordinarily receive.
Lots of games, lots of toys, things that I thought, oh, I would have loved that as a kid as well.
It's hoping this year's meal will provide companionship for those who need it most. Well, with responses to two major reports yet to be announced by the government, the Greens are concerned it may be deliberately stalling to avoid public scrutiny. With many businesses and organisations closing for the holiday season, the party wants the Liberals to outline their solutions urgently.
They've got form for failing to do things in a timely way and for failing to give people time to respond to things.
The government says it's taking a considered approach to its environmental responses and is working through intellectual property issues with the Max Gaming report. A record number of the critically endangered Orangebellied parrots have arrived in Tasmania for the summer following their winter migration. The flock's return is providing some promising signs for the species' survival.
Carefully back in captivity, a much-loved parrot species home just in time for Christmas.
92 birds have returned. So these are our beautiful orange-bellied parrots.
After flying north for the winter, they've arrived back in their Melaleuca breeding ground, a remarkable comeback for the migratory parrot.
So 92 is an amazing number. We've been slowly increasing since 2016 when we were down to just 17 orange-bellied parrots in the wild and only 4 females.
The flock, including 55 males and 37 females, 64 of them born in the wild.
This increase really is a result of the captive breeding and release programs that we've been doing over a number of years.
The government's $1.3 million migration tracking program also helping to safeguard populations.
They're tracked with VHF transmitters that are attached to the base of their tail feathers, and we can see as they sweep across the north and northwest of the state.
Their return giving a glimmer of hope for the critically endangered species. But biologists say we're not out of the woods yet and more research on migration is needed.
There are unknowns in the migration range to do with the mortality.
We lost almost half of the birds on migration this year. That happens every year. We don't know where they go. We don't know what is happening to them.
Rebecca Gadaneros at 7 Tasmania News.
The Old Nick Company has lifted the curtain on the theme for its next uni review. The upcoming show will give a satirical twist to the popular film Wicked, mocking politics and pulp culture.
We really hope that we can bring some new comedy to the stage, and it's always great to watch it live, so it'd be great if audiences can take it for what it is, really enjoy and have a good night out.
Auditions for the production will be held next month ahead of the performances in May. Hobart house prices could rise by as much as 3% next year, according to the latest PropTrack Market Outlook report. That would add $21,000 to the median cost of a home, which currently sits around $700,000. It comes off the back of modest gains over the past year of a little over 1%. As Christmas crowds flock to shopping centres in the lead up to the big day, drivers are being reminded to keep their cool in the car park. Insurance giant Amy releasing data on the worst suburbs for car park prangs, with Kingston taking the crown in Tasmania. The advice for drivers: shop when it's quieter during the early morning or evening. And when it comes to blind spots, it's best to check twice.
I'm going to give Kim a chance to go grab a glass of water, and ironically, with summer well and truly in full swing, TasWater has launched new water refill stations in popular public spaces. Montrose Foreshore Park receiving one of the first installations, which are designed to encourage Tasmanians to ditch plastic bottles and use reusable ones instead.
We want to do our part with our partners to reduce that reliance on single-use plastics and make sure that people become refillers rather than landfillers.
Taswater is looking to roll out more refill stations over the coming years. Well, extra staff are on hand at Launceston Airport in preparation for the busy holiday rush. 220,000 passengers are booked in for travel between Friday and early February.
Security, screening area, retail, cleaning, across the board we've geared up to make sure that this is a great experience for our travellers.
Seasonal routes to Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth are proving popular, but Melbourne tops the list with almost 1,000 flights scheduled over the holiday season. There's a few fresh faces among the Purple Army as the Canes jet off to Melbourne to kick off their Big Bash campaign. Ben McDermott lamenting they've felt they've had all bases covered in previous seasons with nothing to show for it, but he feels there's a wealth of experience among the squad.
Some international guys that have been playing a lot. CJ's been all around the world with a wealth of experience. Our younger players as well, like Peter Hatzeglu's come in and he's playing around the world in the T20 comps and some guys coming out of domestic cricket in really good form as well.
They've taken a travelling squad of 14 to Geelong. If they play, internationals Shea Hope and Waqar Salam-Keel and replacement player Marcus Bean will get their purple caps. There's been a few PBs among the Tassie contingent at the Victorian Age Group Championships this week and a handful of medals, including Hobart Aquatic Club's Ava Mignelli cleaning up 4, including bronze in the 400-metre freestyle last night. Club mate Ethan Werzer taking bronze in the 200 breaststroke. Launceston Aquatic Club's Steve Hansen bronze in the 50-metre free, bronze 2 for Cradle Coast Aquatics, Beth Tregenza in the 200 breaststroke. And Kim, that's all in sport. Glad to see you've recovered.
I have recovered thanks to your honey tea. Very much appreciate it, Nick. We'll take a break now and then Peter Murphy will join us with the weather.
Good evening. Another reasonable day today. Hobart 21 degrees, Launceston the warmest with 24, Devonport 19 and Burnie 22. Temperatures around the average mark with no significant rain since 9 a.m. Bushy Park and Smithton 22, Grove 21, Lowhead 20, St Helens and the Bass Strait Islands 19 and Strawn 18 today. Scattered cloud over the west, cleared this afternoon. Not much cloud elsewhere apart from the far northeast, but that cleared late this afternoon. Most of southeast Australia cloud-free. Thunderstorms over the Kimberley though and parts of the top end and eastern Queensland. Tomorrow the high moves our way with a ridge up over Victoria and the New South Wales coast. Another trough has formed over Western Australia. No wind warning for a change, as variable winds tomorrow at 5 to 15 knots start us off. They will tend southeasterly during the day, swells at 3 metres in southern waters. Hobart, 21 again tomorrow, partly cloudy, same for Cygnet, 25 the maximum for New Norfolk. Launceston 25 and sunny, mostly sunny for Devonport and 26 the top for Campbelltown. Burnie expecting 19 and mostly sunny, a sunny day for Strawn with 22 and for Smithton, 21 the high there. St Helens okay as well, 20 the top, 21 for Swansea, partly cloudy for Fingal, 24 the maximum. On Friday, fine and partly cloudy, 26 in Hobart, Strawn 24 before a possible late shower. Light showers on Saturday for the west and far south and later over the east, and a fine start to Sunday until showers develop in the west during the day. They'll extend statewide later. Sunny and 31 in Perth, 34 for Adelaide tomorrow. A sunny day for Melbourne, 29 the maximum there. Partly cloudy in Sydney, a fine day in Brisbane, but way too late. Sunny still in Hobart at 17 at the moment, clear in Launceston 20 and clear in Devonport 18 degrees. Had a great time in Ranelagh yesterday, Kim, and they're all getting ready already for the Taste of the Huon, which is happening in March. So look forward to that and all the other festivals coming up through summer. The Cygnet Folk Festival, there are also blues festivals and of course the Taste of Summer on Hobart's waterfront. Just looking on the line for you here, there's a Chinese remedy for you. It's lizard soup, lizard, yams and Chinese dates. But look, I've told you before, if you're going to fake an illness, do it before you come to work.
Oh, you're so mean. You should make me some chicken noodle soup. And that is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.